Previously on E.R.P, Deb and I made 4 cigar box style bodies from a single 2x4. This is the build story of one of those boxes, Project 5150. So this is the second box that me and Deb got out of that 2x4. We got a total of 4 out of it. It was only like a $7.49, so we got a pretty good deal for our money. This one I'm going to do a little bit more of a modern style, mostly because I've got this style of neck, and I've got, so we can see it on all the cameras, I've got, it's an EMG style pickup that came with the kit that I'm going to, when I finish the kit, it's all going to get upgraded parts. So I'm just going to put these parts in it, and I'm going to attempt to do a Stratocaster style bridge in here. So I've never done that. I've only seen it done a couple times, and we're going to see how it goes. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically taking measurements and from where my intonation is and where the bridge is going to be, and just like where the neck is going to be protruding into the box and stuff like that, so that I can get an understanding of how to build it internally. I've just taken a little block here and put it right at the edge where the nut is going to be. I got to put a nut on this, and that way it doesn't move on me. And I've got myself nice and centered. That's just to support it. And so what I'm looking now is to measure 25.5 inches. It is right here. What I'm doing is I'm putting a mark on the edge of the box. Okay, so I'm going to put a little punch mark right there. That way I know that's my intonation spot. Move the box a little bit. So now I want to actually measure, or actually mark where the neck ends. That's what I'm using the square for. That's the neck. I just put a little punch. That way I've got a reference mark. Bridge plate needs to be sitting at 24 3/4 is my bridge plate. That's the edge of my bridge plate. That'll make sense here in a minute. So now I want to understand from the edge of the box how far in the neck is. And it is 2 7/8. Front of the neck, excuse me, front of the box to the intonation mark is 4 3/8 front. So now from this will tell me exactly where I need to place this and to support this. And then of course, I've still got to route a hole for this to go through into here. This is the hole I got to cut out. So what I did is I basically made my little homemade template here, just taking some strips, cutting it to the shape I need, and the roundness is actually going to come from the edges of this 1/4 inch. All right, perfect fit. It fits in there just like that. That's how it goes. Okay. Supports on the side. Rough it up for good contact. Some of this out of the way. Fresh cut side there. Those need to set up for a bit. I'll probably have that set up overnight at least, because it's going to have definitely some bridge pressure on it. I want it good and strong. Make sure I don't have any glue leaking anywhere. Okay, and then the next step after that, well, I haven't figured it out yet, but it's probably going to be working on the neck height. One, ready, 2, and 3.
Can one of you guys just please like and subscribe? Just one of y'all.
The bridge is glued and the supports. Just taking this off to get them out of the way now. I was using these to help just keep from putting in little divots in the softer pine. Once you put a divot in the pine like that, it never takes stain the same as the rest of anything else around it. So be very careful with it. So now I'm going to show you my method for actually getting the neck height correct when I'm designing something new, especially with the new neck and box combo. I've already got it figured out for the PRS style neck, but for this one it's new, and it looks like it's actually probably going to be easier. So what I have here are actually called setup blocks, and it's probably not a bad idea. They're good for setting up your saw and router heights and stuff like that. They're very precise, 25 to 30 bucks depending on where you get them at. I got these off Amazon. They come in a lot of different colors. I just chose red so I can find it. So because I'm going to have a 16th inch veneer on top of this, or actually it's a piece of plywood, not really veneer. It's birch, Baltic birch plywood. I've added 1/16 piece of it underneath here as a spacer because I only had one 1/16 measuring block. And so I just used the wood I'm actually going to be using, a piece of it, as to represent the height of the bridge. So now we want to make sure the neck is level, and the best way is just get it propped up somehow. I happen to just prop it up on the lip of the box here because I had a pretty good idea where it needed to be. And make sure we're good and level right there. Okay, so I'm already guessing I'm pretty close here. So I'm using an 1/8 inch underneath here, and this seems to keep it level and at just about the right height. So here's how I'm going to check the height. I'm going to basically use this 1/4 inch block to simulate the nut. This is the top of the indentations on the bridge. And you can simply eyeball it. And that is going to be at the maximum height that it would ever be at. So that is going to be, I actually think I need to drop slightly a bit. I think I need to do It's a 32nd. There's a 16th. Let's do a 16th instead of an 8th. Looks like that was a bit high. Now let's re-level the neck. Okay. Lost my shim. I'm not worried about intonation length right now. I already know where the neck is going to be in here. I'm just getting the depth of the neck pocket. Make sure I got it square. Perfect. Okay. All right. So now let's check string height. Now the nut simulator. Much tighter action. There we go. Okay. This is my height. From there, let's get a pencil. Let's do our best. Mark this. Yep. Okay. Very nice. That's basically how that goes in there. We got just enough slack to put it right about there, which is right at the intonation spot. It allows some lift. You go too far back, it's going to drag. So right there is perfect. And that serves actually just a good reference. Okay, next step, let's figure out center line. And after, you know, sanding and the joints being in touch proud there, I'm actually at 8 and 15/16. Interesting. Yeah, 8 and 15/16. So I'm just shy of 9. Let's see how I am on length. A little worse on length. I'm actually at 11 and 7/8 of an inch long. I always lose a little bit. At some point, I may actually cut them a little bit longer once I figure out exactly how much I lose and once I have everything dialed in like I like it. It's not so much a critical dimension. It's more about the height and the intonation versus really anything else. All right, let's get my toys put away. Let's do some measuring and let's figure out how to make some kind of template for that neck joint to use on the router.
Well, now that it's just us patrons.
The day I die.
Ooh.
Swing those hips around.
Insurance, you say?
Mm-hmm. Let's go get them in whatever.